Hello, everyone. Welcome to the unveiling of the 2024 edition of the Wake Review Literary and Arts Magazine. My name is Amelia Bond, and I am the editor-in-chief of the Wake Review. This is Wake Tech's student-run arts and literary magazine. As some of you may know, we take submissions from our student body, and then we work with a team of students and advisors to compile and publish the work of the students. Into a magazine, and we put it out at the end of each spring as a celebration and recognition of the talented artistic community that we have at Wake Tech. As the editor-in-chief, I know personally just how much work has gone into making this year's edition possible. I am honored to have been given the opportunity to work with so many wonderful, creative people. So first, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our wonderful 2024 Wake Review staff. First, we have our faculty advisors, Emily Morris, and Elizabeth Quirk, and Alexandra Doria. Then there are fiction editors. There's Gloria Sakiti over there, and then we also have Eliza Strong, who's not here today. We have the poetry editors, Kendall Helfer over there, and Misha Rose Peloton, who couldn't make it, and Marissa Hutto. And then there are the multimedia and visual arts editors, Emma Huffman, right over there, and Misha Rose Peloton. And then finally we have nonfiction, Jenna Remini, Marissa Hutto, and Eliza Strong. Furthermore, I am so happy that we are here to recognize all of the talented students who contributed to the magazine. We've heard so many different diverse perspectives, and I am thrilled for all of you to get to read and discover their work. We get so many submissions each year, and it is so humbling being able to choose from so much work. I want to first thank anyone who has submitted their work, and I urge you to submit again in the future. Being published with the Wake Review, it really is an honor that I am so grateful to be able to bestow. Finally, thank you to this year's artists. You covered all sides of the human experience and represent Wake Tech wonderfully. I think you will find that there is something in here for everyone. Now, here are our multimedia editor, Emma, to introduce the winners for the first category.
Hello, my name is Emma, and I am honored to present to you the wonderful pieces of visual art published in this year's edition. Sadly, my partner Misha cannot be here today, so I'm presenting these pieces on their behalf as well. These artists are incredible and have produced some outstanding work. Feel free to turn your magazine along as I introduce each piece. Let's begin with our honorable mentions. For our lovely science fiction piece titled Galactic Idol, with lovely pastel colors and a fantastic creative vision, congratulations, Jada Nowinki, I hope I pronounced that correct. Is Jada here to receive their award or talk about their art? Okay, well, congratulations again. Again, with some fantastic color work, Vivid Vision is a piece of striking imagery that sticks with you long after you see it. This piece was made during the pandemic, representing hope for a better, brighter, and more colorful future. Congratulations, Andrea Cano. Now, is Andrea here to receive their award to talk about their art?
Hi everyone. So my name is Andrea Cano. I am a student at Wake Tech, and I am currently getting my associate's degree in science. So as you heard, what inspired me to make this piece was actually the intense sense of depression that I felt during the pandemic. I felt that being shut in my room completely shut me outside of the world, the colors of society, of the city, of nature. And so making an illustration full of colors with interesting shapes and patterns, it really gave me hope for a better future at the time, that we would all be together once again, enjoying each other's conversations and presence. Thank you.
All right, so Shell Shock is the next piece that plays on the relationship between the mind and the body by showing, not telling. The colors, patterns, and imagery are evocative, and the piece is well composed. But most of all, it's really cool. Congratulations, Ava Castro. Is Ava here today to receive their award or talk about their art? Okay, well, congratulations. Our wonderful cover art this year is a piece called I Am Not My Self-Esteem. This is a piece about identity, how we are more than just our opinions of ourselves. We are a part of the universe. Congratulations, Anastasia Kruvova, and thank you for this lovely piece. Would you talk about it?
Here's your certificate.
Thank you so much.
I'll try to find the microphone. So thank you so much, first of all, for this opportunity and for sharing this time with me. So I'm an international student, and of course, when I first appeared in Wake Tech, after a while of not actually being, within the school walls, I was really excited and shocked and also depressed a little bit because everything is different. The language is different. Even math language is different. So I was trying to help myself first, and also to start this inner dialogue and, maybe just to provoke some feelings about what actually are we? Like, how do we identify ourselves? What do we think about ourselves? Our thoughts, do they identify our like what we are? Maybe it's our feelings, emotions. Maybe it is our achievements. So what exactly can we like put on the shelf of what we are? So I just wanted to discuss it because art is a discussion always, and to remind us that we should be friends to ourselves first of all, like starting from this position, and only after being friendly with ourselves try to answer those questions and try to lead ourselves within the paths of life that we choose. That's what I was trying to show here. Thank you so much.
All right, so next, in third place, we have a beautiful piece called Divine, an angel drawn in light colors over a dark background with the halo behind her. It's a piece that's a tribute to the free spirit of art. Congratulations again, Andrea Cano. Would you like to speak about this one? Okay, awesome.
Hello again, everyone. So I wanted to talk about this drawing because when you look at it at a first glance, it's pretty simple, it's pretty basic. But when I was drawing this, I found myself again in a spot where I did not have a lot of motivation or inspiration to do a lot of things in life, such as in school and things like that. But when I realized that I could actually ground myself in a lot of my spiritual beliefs and faiths, I found a lot of that inspiration return to me again. And so that's what I wanted to translate in this drawing. Thank you.
In second place, we have a piece which casts our favorite dark poet, Edgar Allan Poe, against a beautiful sunflower field, smashing two art styles together and creating a smashing finished product. Congratulations, Richard Chris Meyer. Is Richard here to receive his award? Okay, well, congratulations again. All right, and finally, we have a piece that stood out for its honesty and its courage. This is a piece about mental health titled Depression. It visually captures feelings felt deeply by many people in trying times. This piece spoke to me and many of us working on the magazine. I'm happy to award first place to Jewel Ningayan. Congratulations, she wasn't able to make it today. And that concludes the multimedia and visual arts. Thank you so much to all of you for being here and to our artists for their splendid work. Thank you.
All right, thank you again. Next, we are going to hear our winners for the fiction category. So here is Gloria Speedy, our fiction editor, to introduce the winners.
Wow, it's a lot of people in here. Hi everyone, my name is Gloria Sakiti, and this is my second year serving as fiction editor for the Wake Review. Unfortunately, my partner and fellow editor, Eliza Strong, was unable to make it here today, but I will be speaking on behalf of the both of us when I say we had an amazing time getting to read all the fiction submissions this year. This year, we've had the privilege to read and edit the amazing fiction submissions we'll be sharing with you today. But first, I just want to say thank you to anyone who submitted their work. It's not easy to share your writing with others, so we commend anyone who submitted anything at all this year and encourage others to submit their work next year. And to our winners, congratulations, now for the 2024 Wake Review Fiction Editors, or winners. Okay, starting with our staff submissions. Our first story is inspired by a classic, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It encompasses two college students on the hunt for a rapidly growing undead guinea pig. There's not much I can say about this piece without sounding biased since I wrote it. But it taught me that while it is difficult to share your writing, it is so rewarding. So to anyone interested in submitting anything next year, I strongly encourage you to go for it. You might end up in one of our amazing magazines here. So for our fiction submission, I'll be reading part of my short story, Only a Monster. Monsters come in all shapes and sizes. Robbie's dad told her that 2 months before she and her mom buried him underground at the Masondale family cemetery. Was it a strange thing to say, surrounded by hospital machines and cables, knowing death awaited the exact moment your body gave in to swoop you away forever? Sure. But then again, her dad was a strange man. The opposite of her mother, Robbie's dad, Cotty, liked horror stories, the kind that keep you up at night guarding your room door with a pillow. He'd tell her a new one every night before bed and scare her half to death. But Robbie liked stories, like seeing Cotty's arms flail as he turned her plain room into a hidden cave or a haunted mansion. But eventually, when his stories grew too scary and her nightmares grew too much, Robbie's mom told him to stop. The late spring sun shone with scalding heat, just like that day at the hospital when Cotty told her her last story, Frankenstein. Robbie had known that one already. Studied it in 10th grade English class with Mrs. Clayton, her English teacher at the time. But when Cotty told it, his feeble arm setting the scene once more, she pretended not to know. Do you understand, Robbie? He asked her after finishing the story. Sometimes the most monstrous thing of all is being alone. But that wasn't the monster Robbie knew. The monsters she knew had pointy ears and ugly faces. They made wretched noises and had plans to steal the moon or eat people for fun. Sometimes they were easy to spot, but a lot of the time, more than she liked to admit, they weren't. Those are the ones Cotty liked to talk about most. The ones that looked and sounded like humans but were far from it. They could sneak up on you, posing as a friend or a boss, and you'd never know it. But not all monsters were human, and not all spoke. This one was surprisingly quiet. Now on to our next submission. This piece will catch the eye of any fantasy fans. Inspired by siren mythology, this story will make you think twice about going to the ocean. Or maybe it'll convince you to go on the off chance that there are any sirens to become friends with. I'm a huge fantasy fan, so I really enjoyed reading this, and I know our Wake Review staff were allured by the intriguing storyline in the submission. So in third place, we have Silent Song by Annika Smith.
I don't have very much to say, but thank you. And thank you to Professor Quirk for telling me to submit something.
All right, our next submission impressed us with its palpable sentiment and touching ending. It was an endearing read about a married couple by the name of Marjorie and Otto. I personally loved the storyline, but the ending was my favorite part with its surprising and sad reveal. In second place, we have She Does Not Receive a Reply by Amanda Dindolk. Unfortunately, Amanda was not able to be here with us today, but congratulations on your win. Our last winning submission follows an interesting trend we've been seeing the last few years at the Wake Review, Cowboys. Each year, we've gotten some sort of submission surrounding cowboys in their lives, and each year we are impressed. This year especially. This next submission follows the story of two cowboy lovers in 1968 California. Our staff were impressed by the writing and were head over heels for the main characters. In first place, we have Shine On You Crazy Cowboy by Charlie French.
Well, howdy. I have kind of a weird relationship with this story. It started first as kind of a nonfiction essay. I fell kind of headfirst into the Old West, Wild West cowboy stuff. But while I was writing and researching, I kind of found myself making up these two characters. And I was like, what if I elaborate a little bit on that? And so that's how this story came to be. Thank you.
All right, that's it for our fiction submissions. I'll hand it back off.
Thank you so much, Gloria. I loved hearing you read your piece. It's such an honor to have someone of the staff submit their work. All right, next we have our poetry editor, Kendall Helfer, here to introduce the winners for poetry.
Hi, I'm Kendra Helfer, you just heard, and I'm here today to celebrate our wonderful poets and their fantastic pieces. Unfortunately, our other poetry editors, Misha and Marissa, were unable to attend this event. However, I speak on behalf for all of us when I say this was an amazing year for poetry. It was extremely difficult to narrow down so many amazing pieces, each with their own perspectives and narratives, and we're all amazed at what everyone can bring to the table. For third place, Scapegoat is a tumultuous tale. Brisk and brutal, this poem places you directly in the envy and the devastation being set up as a pawn in a game that continues to haunt the narrator long after they're gone. Congratulations to Hamide Cole. Is Hamide here to receive their award? And second place is Crimson, a plea for help, for understanding. It's a voracious choir of voices that struggle to articulate the pain from within and the frustration from those we're supposed to trust the most dismiss you every time. Although she cannot be here as she is healing, we all congratulate Toni on what she was able to achieve with this poem. And for first place, The Kiss is a poem about the kiss of betrayal in the biblical story of Judas and Jesus Christ. It gives a fractal view of the moment, and it deals with the themes of religion and queer love. It's truly a remarkable piece. Congratulations to our first place winner, Charlie French.
Hello again. This was actually the first thing I wrote and wanted to submit here. I went through, I want to say 10 rewrites and revisions. It was a very long project. It started from my art class. I started looking at art and kept seeing similar things of love and kiss and how love is universal but also so fragmented across us. And that's what inspired this. Thank you.
Untitled is a symphony as much as it is melancholic. Its unique structure amplifies the beginning of a new stage of life reminiscent of the opening act of an opera, which is reflected in its ending. This writer cleverly infused excitement of starting a new chapter of your life, but not to forget where you came from. Congratulations to Jessie Lampier. Is Jessie here to receive their award?
No thanks.
That's fine.
Satori's Dance is a beautiful poem dedicated to the author's best friend. It's warm and reflective, full of love and meaning. Congratulations to Tiara Spence. And my house is not a home. There's something more than meets the eye. A picturesque house is stripped to its rotten foundation through its evocative imagery, which resembles more than a tomb than a home. Congratulations, Grace Abraham. It's no big deal. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. My Teeth Are Yellow is a poem that's full of nostalgia, longing, and perspective. It's a beautiful poem about growing up that sticks with you long after you read it. Congratulations to Atari Elson. Up next is a submission from one of our staff members, Editor-in-Chief and Nonfiction Editor Amelia.
Hello again. So my poem, The Walgreens That Used to Be Rite Aid, is a poem that I wrote about, it's mostly about like your childhood places changing. It's also a little bit about shoplifting, and I wanted to play on the idea of things being stolen and sold. There's a lot of ways that you can feel like things are stolen from you. And when I've shared this poem with people, I had a lot of people tell me that it was really relatable, despite how specific and personal it is to me. I think that everyone can relate to that feeling of that place that you went to all the time as a kid and you can never return to. So that's my poem. Thank you.
And our last one, and written by yours truly. Imaginary Road Trip actually was written over the summer, just kind of reminiscing about things. I'd been thinking about all the long trips that I'd taken growing up, specifically the one that we went on when we moved from California about 8 years ago. And while I can't really go back to that time 8 years ago, I figured just make it up. So that's what that poem was. And even though I'll be going back, funny enough, for the first time since we moved in June, I know it won't be the same, so it's just an articulation of those feelings. Right? And that is one of our poetry selections.
All right, and now we have the last category, nonfiction. And so we have back again, once again, Gloria, our fiction editor, because unfortunately none of our nonfiction editors could be here to talk about it. So Gloria is going to introduce our nonfiction.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm back. Unfortunately, our nonfiction editors were unable to make it here today, so I'll be filling in for them. But thank you to our editors, Jana Ramoni, Marissa Hutto, Eliza Strong, and Emilio Bond for overseeing our nonfiction submissions. Nonfiction is usually a lengthy category, and we tend to get the most submissions there. So they put in a lot of hard work reviewing and editing the nonfiction submissions for the Wake review. So thank you guys. And then now on to our winners. All right, starting with our online honorary submissions. This piece followed generations of African American women and their shift in identity and confidence over time. It struck us with its informational writing and ability to create a fun and intriguing reading atmosphere by following women from the silent generation up to millennials today. I personally really related to this piece. I found it really interesting to see what past Black women have experienced and to kind of relate that to what I'm experiencing now. So I really enjoyed this piece, and I'm really excited to present From Shame to Shine, The Evolution of Black Women During the 20th Century by Michelle Jones. Congratulations, Michelle. Our next honorary submission described the life of the author and the struggles they faced that molded them into who they are today. From the description of life as a foster sibling to being diagnosed with a genetic blood disorder, this piece was raw and touching and a reminder that everyone around you is living their own unique lives and having their own unique experiences. I really enjoyed reading this piece and was impressed by all the adversity the author has faced and overcome. So I'm excited to announce our next winner by Shiloh Townsend, Personal Writing Perspective. Our last honorary submission discussed Americans' urban planning issue. If you ever wonder why there's a lack of reliable public transportation in America, this piece is for you. Zoning, the silent gatekeeper of wealth and inequality in the United States by Ivan Volkson, so sorry if I mispronounced that, impressed our staff with its informative description of the U.S. urban planning transportation systems. Congratulations on being featured in the magazine, Ivan. Okay. Our next submission discussed the author's pursuit of a better life when immigrating from Afghanistan to the United States. It was eye-opening to the experiences many people face in different countries around the world. With well-written prose and a striking personal tale of the meaning of journeying to the U.S., I really enjoyed reading this piece, and I'm excited to announce our third place winner, Those Who Dare to Dream by Soma Rofi. Okay, you've already heard from this author before, but this time, instead of fiction, they tackled a nonfiction piece about the origin of vampires and vampirism. As a pop culture fan, I found this piece to be really intriguing. It was well written and well researched and showed the evolution of one of the most popular folklore stories and supernatural creatures to date. In second place, we have Yankee Vampires, a postmortem on America's Forgotten Epidemic by Charlie French.
I promise this is the last time I'll come up here. This started as a speech in my communications class like a year or so ago, and like it just wasn't sitting right with me. So I was like, I gotta go back and do this topic justice. So I did a little bit of a deeper dive. I looked a little closer about vampires and like, the real American vampires that are still buried here today. And I think it's an interesting read. So read it.
I definitely second that. I'm a huge vampire fan, so I learned a lot. Thank you for that. And then our last submission is an argumentative essay on a current event, the Palestine-Israel conflict. Our Wake Review staff were impressed by the quality of writing in this piece, as well as its relevance to today's world and explanation of the origin of Palestine and the Palestinian people. So in first place, we have Silence Tears, the Unseen Suffering of Palestinian Genocide by Jenna Atway.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to be reading a little bit of this. Before I read, I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Wolkowski for encouraging me to submit this. And and I'm starting from page 18 if you're following along. This current situation demands a unified moral and global uprising as individuals are siding with the oppressors and condoning a modern genocide against the Palestinian people. The children of Palestine aspire to live in a world where they don't have to constantly fear bombs dropping at any moment and where the anxieties of everyday life and routine activities do not encumber them. It is imperative upon the global community to rise above complacency, break the chains of decades-long oppression, and indisputably put an end to the suffering and senseless killing of innocent lives. Now is the time to decisively end this repeating history once and for all. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people." Thank you.
Well, that's it for our nonfiction section. Pass it back.
Thank you so much for coming today, everyone, and thank you to everyone who spoke and all the artists that are here today. Thank you to everyone for coming to celebrate. It means so much to me to be able to recognize all of the hard work that the staff and artists put in, and I hope you enjoy the 2024 edition of the Wake Review magazine as much as I do. Make sure everyone gets a copy. Thank you so much.
Checks in the mail, your prize checks. So look for those. There's food, eat it. There's food over there.
I feel like there's somebody that forgot to get back.
Yeah. That's fine.
Sorry, I might blind you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, this is all over the place.
Wow. Wow, great job. You gotta like that was great.